The Petroleum Corporation of Jamaica PCJ Director Lionel Murray, who has been linked to a questionable multi-million-dollar sponsorship payout made by scandal-riddled state entity Petroleum to two citizens association groups in St. Catherine, says he was simply acting as a courier. Mr. Murray was grilled by opposition members during Tuesday's sitting of the Parliament's Public Accounts Committee PAC, who pressed to find out whether he was acting in his capacity as a PCJ director or an assistant to then Energy Minister Dr. Andrew Wheatley. A reluctant Murray read from a prepared script, insisting that he was unable to provide detailed responses since the matter is being investigated by the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency MOCA. But opposition member Peter Bunting disagreed with Mr. Murray's defense.
I'm very much grateful for the opportunity to appear before this committee to share what information I have, as I have nothing to hide. However, based on publications in the press, I am aware that this matter is now being investigated. In that regard, the extent to which I can assist this committee is limited. I will say, however, in relation to the role I played in the matter you are investigating, I was simply a courier that was asked to pass on information, which I did. At this point, unfortunately, I can be of no further assistance as a result of the ongoing investigation.
Mr. Murray, I think you should let us determine if you can be of further assistance or not. I don't think that's your determination. And the fact that the matter is being investigated, unless someone has been charged and the matter is before the court, I don't believe there is any prohibition for this committee to inquire into the matters so long as they're not sub judice. The chairman, you could guide. That's just my layman's understanding.
Well, it seems like an accurate synopsis of the situation.
Mr. Murray has been identified as the individual who emailed former Petroleum General Manager Floyd Grindley requesting that over $9 million be paid to the Sydenham Citizens Association. It's alleged that at the time of the payment, the group, which is located in the constituency of former Energy Minister Dr. Andrew Wheatley, was unregistered. Last month, Permanent Secretary in the Energy Ministry, Karl Tama, told the PAC that she was informed by Mr. Murray that he was acting as a personal assistant to Dr. Wheatley when he sent the request.
You sound like you're reluctant to really provide much information
by no
today.
means, Chairman. By no means. Chairman, I have absolutely no relation with Petroleum. I am a director at PCJ.
I am trying to reconcile the two descriptions and to understand if he was both an assistant or in his capacity as assistant to Minister Wheatley, he was couriering this instruction. And of course it was, we have seen the virtual side of it in the email thread. He was couriering this instruction to Petroleum. It doesn't seem particularly complicated to me. I'm asking if it was in his capacity as an assistant to then Minister Wheatley that he was providing this courier service.
Mr. Murray, was that the capacity in which you were acting as courier?
Chairman, I was simply a courier that was asked to pass the information on, which I did.
Let me put it another way. Who asked you to pass on the information?
The matter is presently under investigation, member, and I'm sure that will come to light.
Meanwhile, while being quizzed by opposition member Fitz, Mr. Murray revealed that he was acting on behalf of former Jamaica Labour Party councillor for the Homestead Division, Mr. Owen Palmer. Mr. Palmer died on March 4 last year in a motor vehicle accident.
What is the name of the gentleman? Mr. Murray? What's the name of the gentleman, the constituency development manager, who asked you to bring the...
He was a councillor then.
Oh, he was a councillor. Does he have...
Councillor Palmer.
Councillor Palmer. So he was the one who asked you to...
Yes, sir.
To...
That's the councillor who passed.
Unfortunately, yes, sir.
So I vaguely recall hearing, what could you say about when was it that Councillor Palmer passed on?
I don't remember now, sir.
What year? Last year? Was it last year?
I don't remember.
Does any, I mean, it was a colleague. I'm just trying to... Last year? Okay. So basically, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Myrie is telling us that someone who is deceased and unable to give his account of this matter was the initiator of this action, who gave him the instruction to switch beneficiaries of the donation from the Macook-Spen Citizen Association to the Sydenham Citizens Association.
In the meantime, things got heated when government member Harold Warmington took issue with Mr. Bunting's line of questioning. He was reprimanded by PAC Chairman Mark Golding, who accused him of interrupting Mr. Bunting. But Mr. Warmington lambasted the chairman for being biased.
The person deceased asked him to switch.
Asked him to pass the instruction.
Correction then. You can't say after the switch.
Mr. Warmington, you're interrupting the flow of questions.
No, please. Yeah. He has corrected himself because he misspoke then. So don't tell me I'm interrupting him.
He hasn't corrected himself.
He just said that.
You misheard what he said.
No, he just said, ask him to deliver. You are being biased now, you know. You are being totally biased.
You are interrupting the flow of questions.
No. He didn't say that, so you don't defend him. Allow him to say
no,
it.
I am saying
watch your chairmanship, you know.
I am saying it.
I'm watching your chairmanship.
You can watch it all you wish.
Yes, and you always try to defend it because you're business partners.
Oh, you see, that kind of remark is uncalled for.
Because you're business partners, because you want to be honest. Don't go down there.
You're interrupting the question, not
because he misspoke, and I draw to attention, he corrected himself, and the chairman going on route.
You misheard what he said.
No, you didn't hear what his correction.
You misheard what he said.
You need hearing ears.
And he affirmed
you need
that
some
what you had,
to hear properly.
He affirmed that what you heard was in fact what he had said.
No.
Yeah.
No, don't be dishonest now. Don't be dishonest. Don't be dishonest, please.
What are you talking about?
Show some respect to this committee and don't be dishonest.
You show some respect.
Don't be dishonest.
There's no question of dishonesty.
Yes, you are.
You've interrupted the flow of questions.
No, he didn't say
alleging that he said something which he didn't say.
That's what he said, asked and answered. You are being dishonest and disingenuous. You are being dishonest.
You are being rude and out of order.
Out of order to
yes.
you?
Yes.
Rude out of order to you?
By saying I'm
don't
being
mention
dishonest.
Yourself about being out of order.
Just calm down and behave yourself.
Don't be rude out disorder to you. Don't go there.
Stop pointing.
Don't go there.
Please.
Stop pointing.
Don't go there.
Stop pointing.
Cut it off then.
Meanwhile, Permanent Secretary in the Energy Ministry, Karl Palmer, was displeased with Lionel Marie's stance. She told the committee that she is prepared to provide the records which indicate that she had a conversation with Mr. Myrie.
Chairman, I believe I am obliged to speak because I do feel my integrity is being impugned here. And I did have a conversation with Mr. Myrie at the request of the Honourable Minister, where he asked to speak with me. And I conveyed to this committee when I was asked what I was told in that conversation. It appears that that is now in question, and I am prepared to share with this committee the records of the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology in this particular matter of engagement.